So this is a new series I mentioned doing. In this series, I will be remaking the Wings of Fire tribes. No, not redesigning, as I'm also going to be adding bits of lore to the tribe and making a culture. I hate to admit it, but the tribes are a tiny bit too homogeneous to me, so it's time to say what I would do to differentiate them if I was Tui. This video is not meant to shame Tui, by the way. She has a lot of hints of world building, and I know how hard it is to convey all the subtleties of your world, especially considering a deadline in writing form. I also have the power of hindsight, so I know what works and what doesn't. This series will help me make my dragons look more diverse when it comes to body shapes, as I currently pretty much use one, and if you remove the colors, most dragons I draw would look pretty similar. Let's hope this adds some spark to my drawings. Before we get started, if you are new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I regularly post both Wings of Fire and Workouts content, so you'll never be bored. And to my current subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me, and we've gone here without y'all. With all that out of the way, let's redesign and remake SkyWings. Initially, I was thinking of making SkyWings more bird-like and giving them feathers, but on the other hand, I really like the inspiration for SkyWings. They are based on standard European dragons like the one on the Wales flag. I'll boot that into my software along with the current SkyWing tribe, but you probably saw it already. I'll use both of those for references. For the SkyWing tribe, I don't think I need to make that many changes. They are perfectly fine dragons. However, I added an arrowhead tail, something commonly seen in medieval texts containing dragons. I'm going to add in a bit more on the color scale. One thing that annoys me is the limited color selection. It feels like red and orange has a limitation of possibility, so I decided to add yellow. Most SkyWings are red and orange, though yellow is just rare. Kinda like how most sea wings are blue and green, but indigo is, well, indigo. I've used yellow on my SkyWing designs in the past too, like Pyrite from my Mirror Man PMV. It was supposed to look more golden because Pyrite is fool's gold, but I guess my color perception was off when I was designing her. Before we move subjects, I just want to point out their freakishly long necks. Look at Scarlet on this cover of Escaping Peril. That has a freakishly long neck. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, editing Rogan, but it is even referenced in the dang books. I think it is intentional and maybe a royalty-specific trait that they look like giraffes, but who knows? So now that we're done with the physical aspects, let's talk about culture. SkyWing society has changed over time. In Darkstalker, Fathom describes the SkyWing tribe as being friendly and enthusiastic, a far cry from the grumpy dragons we all know today. However, he may have been being sarcastic. SkyWings throughout the rule of all their queens have consistently had a belief in sky burials. A corpse is traditionally wrapped in white cloth and left to where the sun and moonlight can reach them for several days. This will lead a dragon soul to be reincarnated. I decided to expand upon that belief more. SkyWings in my rewritten version worship the sky. They believe dragons are the best species because they can fly, so birds should be considered just as good. They say prayers after they kill birds, and one cannot kill a bird and not eat it because then the bird would go to waste. If an egg is visited by a bird, it is considered good luck, and the dragonette is named after the bird. An example of this in the books is Kestrel, the guardian to the dragonettes. Dragons in higher position of power keep birds, especially exotic ones like parakeets and macaws. Meanwhile, dragons in lower standings keep chickens. This has led to cockfighting rings between dragons who did not respect their religion that much and just want to fight birds. SkyWings bury their dead close to the sky because of this belief. They think all souls come from the stars, and so the corpse needs to be kept by the stars for at least 2 nights for the soul to leave the earth and go to the sky. If it does, the dragon will be reincarnated into a flying creature, preferably a dragon but secondarily a bird. If they are not buried that way, their soul will be reincarnated into an earth creature, and only after a death in that body can they become a flying creature once more. Let's talk about family life. Dragonettes are often dropped off at a formative dragon daycare by their parents, which is confirmed in the books. Parents tend to have strict requirements for their dragonettes, and often have children based off of politics, not love. Now, what is thrilling to them? In the beginning of the books, they have the arena, where dragons fight to the death. The arena seems to be a newer cultural development for them, as one dragon comments that Scarlet made it to distract from the war, but it could have roots in her history. SkyWings may have had an arena in the past, but mainly for SkyWing combat. Soldiers to be would often be sent in the arena to fight each other, and graduating soldiers would complete their training by having a tournament. Criminals would also be sent into the arena against each other. Most of those criminals would be political ones, dragons who committed murder, or stolen from the queen a large quantity of jewels. The prisoner who survived the most matches would be called the champion. They would have slightly better living conditions than the other dragons in the arena. The arena would also be home to executions of prisoners too wicked to be allowed to fight for life in the arena. SkyWings are the fastest flying dragons and love to show off that skill through racing and precision diving. Around the peaks of the Clouds Mountains, one can spot hoops that SkyWings dive through, which also mark the path for racing. Last but not least, jewelry. SkyWings are pretty strict against jewelry on tails and wings as it slows the dragon down. However, they will paint or tattoo those limbs. For some festivals, SkyWings will attach feathers or large painted leaves to their wings to resemble birds. SkyWings who are named after a jewel like ruby and tourmaline are likely to decorate themselves in those jewels. While red gems are popular among SkyWings, blue jewels like sapphires and azurites are the second most popular, then followed by yellow gems. The least popular gem color is green as it clashes with the scales and is considered by the dragons to be an equivalent of tacky. That's all I could come up with for the SkyWing tribe, so here's the result of the design. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I make Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats videos pretty often, and your support would mean a lot to me. And to those who have already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. Without further ado, peace out.